I don't know, like, she's out there. You're the Florida version of Sex and the City, JD.
That's when I was smoking my cigars.
Don't be an asshole today.
I am so excited about today.
Well, guess what? Laura Leigh is in the waiting room.
They are in. They are in. Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is big, man. This is we've got the lesbians from Smothered on TLC.
Yes.
I know nothing about this, so this is all I know, and here we go.
All right.
No messing about.
Hey.
Hey!
Hello.
What's going on? Hello!
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
So excited that you guys are on today. I mean, I am a huge fan of the show. Denise and I have been so excited about this for as soon as we knew about it, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
I will admit, like, straight up, I'm in the UK. I live in London. Things have been a little bit somber here for the last couple of days.
yeah, I can imagine.
So I've not seen the show. Like, I know that we have TLC here, and I've been searching for it, and I can't find it here. So I just have JD giving me her rendition of it. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna let her come at you with questions, and I'm just gonna be here to observe and learn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say, I'm not 100% sure, but I want to say, I think there's like a lag time between seasons. Like, I want to say
Big
maybe
time,
like y'all
yeah.
are on the third season or just got the third season, maybe.
Yeah,
As far as just comments on the internet goes.
yeah, it's bad. I mean, usually it's like a season and a half of something has to air in the US before we even get it.
Gotcha.
And here I am on social media all the time, so I know all the spoilers, everything that's going to happen. It's horrible. I can't even watch. I can't watch football anymore. I can't watch NFL football.
Oh.
I tried to fill Denise in as much as I could, but we are actually, as the mere mortals that watch the show, we are. They left us. We're in season 3, and they left us where Laura Leigh made the big announcement that you want to try to have a baby. So that's where we are in where that goes. And so yeah, so I'm all up to date on whatever they will show us. And I know you guys already had the baby, beautiful little girl.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done.
How to cue her in.
So, because I follow you on Instagram, I stalk you guys a little bit on Instagram. So I've seen you beautiful little girl.
Well, that's all Instagram is now. It's just pictures of her.
Yes, I noticed.
Like any
that.
parents, like any parent.
But where we were left off was you guys were planning the baby shower, and I just want to know how Laura Leigh did with planning the games. Did you guys let her plan the games?
You know, we don't want to give too much away about that.
Let's just say I think everybody's in for a big surprise on the entertainment that's going to happen.
I will say, because you know, with the way TLC films us, you know, it's reality TV, so they are just filming us as we're living our lives. So there's one particular scene that I saw that they posted in a preview, and it's where I scream Laura Leigh, and that was so honest. And like, I remember what happened right before that scene, I can tell you, is my goddaughter, who's 11, she was with me, and she was like, "Oh, Nanny, like, what can I help with?" And I said, "Oh, why don't you go help Laura Leigh? She's about to pass out some games." And I won't tell you what the game was, but I'll tell you the next thing I know, I turn around, I see one of the game pieces that's being passed around. I'm like, "Laura Because I'm like, you know, my little goddaughter's about to see whatever this was.
Well, little did I know I was going to be having younger, kids helping.
Yeah.
Or I didn't even know we had younger kids coming to the shower. So
Yeah, a lot of my girlfriends, brought their daughters and stuff like that, and I don't think she expected that.
yeah. So immediately when her goddaughter tried to come help, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. You just go sit down with your mom.
She had never been to a baby shower at all before this, so this was her first, and she decided to help plan it.
I know there was a little concern over the fact that Lauren was concerned that Laura Leigh gave her mom a vibrator for Christmas. So that's why you were concerned about the, what the games might be.
Just so y'all know, I got a phone call from my mom saying, I can't believe you said that. I'm like, well, it's true.
She's like, that didn't happen.
Reality.
I'm like, yes, it did.
I'm like, Mom, don't worry. I'll get on the internet. Tell everybody, you were just getting divorced. I was trying to help you get over Dad.
Oh my God.
Reality TV, right?
Oh,
So,
fantastic. Oh my God.
So how have your lives changed, speaking of all of this, since you got on the show, as far as
what are your outer rim families that might not be in it? Like, what do they think about this?
Well, we have a really strong community around us. Like, so we live in a neighborhood with like 4 or 5 couples.
I call it our neighborhood.
Got a neighborhood.
Pleasant couples. We're all in that part of our lives where we're either just got engaged, getting married, or having babies. So we're kind of all experiencing that part of life right now. And so other than my family, I mean, her family we're close to too, but they live out of state. They live in Mississippi, whereas we're in Louisiana. So other than my family, I mean, that is our like community right there. That is our core. So they all laugh because they're like, man, Laura Leigh looks like the perfect wife on TV sometimes. I'm like, Lauren, you look like such a bitch. But they're like, but we know y'all. We know that she's really the asshole.
So do you feel like sometimes you're the victim of a bad edit, and sometimes Laura Leigh, you're the victim of a bad edit? Like, it's kind of a crap
right?
You're gonna get the bad edit.
Oh yeah,
the funny thing is, like, fans of the show hated me last season. So we're actually, I know you had mentioned, so this is our second season, but it's the 4th season that's playing right now on TV. So last season, season 3, I got so much hate. I got messages like people wish I wouldn't get pregnant, that Laura Leigh would leave me on the daily. But the moment I announced that I was pregnant, it was like
the tables flipped.
Complete shift. Everyone's like, oh my God, I'm so happy for y'all. Like, I mean, I'm here for all the positivity, but it's just kind of funny how that happened.
Yeah.
So you have to get geared up for that, right? Like, you put yourself in the spotlight, you put yourselves out there. Anyone that would do that, you do have to be ready for some of the negative stuff as well. I mean, was that difficult when you saw people hating you?
Being queer. On top of being queer.
Yeah. I'll be completely honest. I told Lauren going into this, I said, I know the world is changing for the better, and it made me nervous to put our lives out there for people to judge. But that was actually the least amount of negative comments that we had gotten. I mean, it's few and far between. And I told Lauren, I was like, it just really opened my eyes how much the world, is more accepting. Yeah.
I mean, you also got all these like old Southern women.
Yeah.
Wanting to be changed because of you.
Yeah. I've gotten a lot of comments that like, I got a husband, but I date Laura Leigh, and I'm
she's getting all the love. I feel like she's like the version, the newer version of Ellen. They're all like, well, I like this one.
That's amazing. That is amazing to hear that, and so nice, because that was one of my questions. Like, how is it being in the South, and is it like, was it different for you guys being a same-sex couple on the show, and were you getting comments about that? So
it's crazy.
The fact that you're
very few comments were actually about that. Now, I will say, it being the 4th season, we now have Shay introduced to the season, and that is a transgender woman who is now on the season with us. And I know that she's getting, comments here and there, and we've been kind of talking to her a little bit off the show.
Do you ever worry about though? Like, I just read something like on my Twitter feed. We're big fans of the show Heartstopper on Netflix, And so we of course started following all the stars of that. And the one guy just pulled himself off Twitter because he said that he got accused of, queer baiting or something, because he had his picture taken holding hands with his best friend who was a girl. And they went nuts. And so he just like took himself off Twitter and said, that's it. I'm not on social media. And it's like, that's got to be like cutting off a limb,
Yeah.
like it's a huge
We've never
decision.
really been like really into social media, neither one of us. I mean, I feel like now I post more than I ever have because of my
Sure.
daughter, and I'm like,
course,
she's the cutest thing. But I think the only thing that I've had to do, like with the hate comments, is I don't go looking for it, but it was find its way into like my personal messages and things on Instagram. And I didn't make a new Instagram for the show. Like it was my personal Instagram. I just, that's what people follow me on.
Oh, okay.
But
Bold.
what I did do for myself is I made it to where only people who follow me could comment on my photos.
Smart.
And in my sense, that really stopped a lot of the hate, because if you're going to follow me, then I would hope that
There's
you
a
like
reason,
me. And if
yeah.
you don't like me, then why are you following me?
Right.
Yeah.
And that really put a stop to majority of it.
That's great, because
Yeah.
there's so many trolls out there that just want to jump on a hate wagon. Doesn't matter
Right.
who,
Yeah.
they just want to be on the hate wagon. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's easy to hide behind a screen anonymously just to be ugly.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah.
They're so brave in front of their monitor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I get it.
Oh, I know where I was talking about earlier. It just came back to me. That'll happen probably
good.
a lot. Is that when I brought up Shay earlier, being a transgender woman, I loved that they showed the conversation between her and her mom on the show about her mom felt the need to like mourn who she lost. She in a sense lost her son. And that's something my mom and that was one thing about like the edit. We had a really honest conversation that I kind of wish would have been included. And maybe it will be, in the future, about how I understood, especially now as a mother, I understood that my mom had to kind of mourn when I came out to her, especially living in the South. She kind of had to mourn the life she thought I was gonna have.
Husband and then grandchildren.
Right.
Before
My mom
before
said the
we all
same
knew.
thing. Yes. Same
Yeah.
And then
exact
especially
words.
being, I am a really like, girly girl. And I feel like Laura Leigh and I don't know if it's because we live in the South or whatever, but we take on those like traditional roles, like she cuts the grass and I do the dishes and we are essentially.
I asked her to cut the grass. She won't help.
No.
She said she's got allergies.
Truth bomb.
That's
But I
very
mean, there are so many
true,
times
right?
that I'll see people staring at us. And now I feel like it's for the show majority of the time. But sometimes I'm just like, oh yeah, like we're different than other people, and we kind of have to remind ourselves that because we forget.
Yeah. You're just living your lives, like that's
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Is it weird though having cameras on you all the time?
I'll be at
Right.
first it
I'm
was.
used to it a little
And
bit.
yeah, I think we kind of love it now secretly.
Any type of attention. So I was the one that kind of signed us up for this whole thing. And my mom is the one who's like, what are you doing to us?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She was a big part. Jay, didn't you tell me the mom was a big part of this?
Oh yeah. I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
ask, like, does your mom is she on Instagram? Does she get the haters
She's
as well?
on Instagram. She's never really been on social media.
Yeah.
And like she's a lot like me. We don't go looking for anything. My dad is a lot like Laura Leigh. Laura Leigh is like
Yeah.
I married my father, basically,
Oh
in
my
every way.
God.
So he will, to read her like the funny things here and there, but we just tell them, if you come across anything negative, we don't need
Yeah,
it.
we try to just ignore it.
Yeah.
Smart. I'm
I
glad that
love
you have less of it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
I
huge.
love the dynamic between Laura Leigh and your dad, and they work together. And I wanted to ask
do.
you, what is that like working with your father-in-law? And but you guys are buddies. That I watched some of the Instagram videos where you're in the car driving together.
The car videos are fantastic.
work.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's awesome.
I love working. Okay, let me start. I love Mr. Kenny. He's like another father figure, buddy figure. And as far as working together goes, I'm not gonna lie, we do butt heads sometimes. But I think he's only comfortable, like he'll take out his anger on me at work, and we laugh about it later on, because like we may if we disagree about something at work, we may get on the phone and start bitching at me a little bit, but like at the end of the conversation, after everything's settled down, he's usually like, okay, I love you. I'm sorry. I love you. And then
He's gotta explode. He's gotta explode and then
yeah, and then he comes back.
That's
And
awesome.
so I'll mess with him too, or I'll call him and I'll be in front of the guys at work. And I'll call them, hey, daddy, I love you. What are you doing? Like, I got a question about work. And they're like, they're on the phone like, hey, daddy. So I like to embarrass them a little bit too.
They are so much alike. Laura Leigh, for the longest time, and like with our group of friends, she used to make fun of my dad's laugh because it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
very obnoxious laugh. And he like slapped his knee or something. And now all my friends have called her out. Like her laugh is now adapted into his laugh. She now laughs
I've
like.
taken on the laugh that I made fun of.
So she is just slowly turning into him, but in every way.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that is hilarious.
Yeah, as soon as we got
how
here-
about with like he obviously he's a good granddad, right?
Oh yeah, he's
He's
the best.
Well, that's just cemented your position. He can't yell at you and be angry at you.
Right, right.
Exactly.
Your parents
Oh,
is
yeah.
the grandchild.
Yeah, I was hoping we were gonna give him a little grandson because the poor man's been surrounded by women his entire life. And then even at our wedding, his speech was, I never thought I was gonna have another daughter.
Oh, that's funny.
Poor man
saw,
can't catch a break.
I saw on the episode where I think one of the producers asked if he defends you, Laura Leigh, in these situations with the baby shower. And he's like, I defend her to a point until it's going to affect my marriage. And then basically you're on your own with that.
That's
Oh
great.
yeah, no, Miss Lisa wears the pants, that's for sure. I don't blame her. I understand why. I told Lauren ever since when I first met her, I was like, I was never scared of your father. I was like, your mom though, she got some notes, and I'm like, am I supposed to ask your mom for your hand in marriage? Like,
That's funny. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, everyone's always been shit about.
and by the way, to spoil that, I just went ahead and did it, and her mom didn't talk to you for like a week because
That's true.
Oh,
No.
My mom and I
Oh.
gone it was maybe a week and a half without talking ever in my entire life. And it was after she.
because I didn't we didn't announce that.
Yeah.
oh.
Oh,
I
how
was a little
awkward.
nervous. She made me a little nervous.
Oh,
That
But
wasn't
we
the
like
proper
typical
Southern-
lesbians, we got engaged like 6 months
Oh,
into
8
knowing each
months?
other. I think it was 6.
8 months? No? Okay.
How did you guys meet? I don't know if they mentioned that on the show. Did they mention?
know if they
did you
had
guys
either.
We
met
actually
that?
met on a dating website.
Yeah. We have
Oh.
one mutual friend who is my best friend in high school, and he was just someone she knew.
Yeah, I met him after I moved to Louisiana and was hanging out with him and a couple of people.
Yeah, so we both messaged him and was like, what do you know about this person? And he was like, I think it would be a good match. So we had the worst first date in history, but somehow we just stuck.
She never
powered through. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
fantastic. And this is so it's all real fresh then, right? Like how long have you been married?
We got married in
2018.
February
Oh, it is
2018.
fresh.
Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. So all right, you got a couple years under your belt now.
Yeah.
I can say this
So,
as I'm rolling
like-
on 14.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. October it'll be
Nice.
14. Yeah,
That's
14.
awesome.
Yeah, but you
Pretty
know,
awesome,
it
Denise.
gets easier. You know, I'll tell you though, one thing we were super honest about when we were dating and when we got married and everything, is that like our moms are extraordinarily off limits. Like you could say what you want about me, you could say what you want about my
I like
friends,
that.
but moms are completely off limits.
That's a good
then-
rule.
We should establish that.
Well,
We
can we
did.
make it about dads then?
You would not be unsmothered, Denise. I don't
Yeah,
think you would
no,
go, you know, with that rule.
No. Yeah,
So
no,
She
it's-
knows that's how to get to me. That's how to get to me is start talking about my mom or start bitching about my dad when about work or whatever. And I'm like, I don't want to hear bad things about my parents. I know how they
yeah,
are.
the
but no.
parental hot buttons. They're parental hot
right.
buttons.
Yeah.
that's
Exactly.
how I get her real quick.
Oh man, yeah, no, I would never. I wouldn't even dream. So yeah, it's and we each get like our quality mom time, without
See-
each other, like I'll go
Yeah.
See,
to, she's in Australia with her
actually-
mom right now.
We actually lived with my parents for about 6 months where we were building our house that we live in now.
Oh, wow.
And so that was a lot on like Laura
It was a
Lee's
long
mental
6
health, I know, but I loved it. Like that, me and my mom just became even closer. It was probably
Even
one of the best
closer.
times in my life. Because I had her, I had Laura Leigh and I had my mom all under one roof, and I love that. And for the longest time, my mom really was trying to stop us from moving in the house that we were building. But
because it was an hour away.
But in saying that, Laura Leigh would get upset. She'd be like, you and your mom just like go to Target or just, y'all go shopping. Y'all don't even invite me. And I'm like, well, that's my time with my mom.
Yes.
So, but
Important,
she
Laura
wants
Leigh,
to be
it's
included. She's
important.
like,
I'm like,
so
time with your mom, y'all were right next door to each other. You were one door away.
it's hard because, she wants to be included with that. But, and then now with Reagan, it's like my mom brought up the other day, she's like, oh, I'd love to do like a tea party, like you, me and Reagan when she gets a little older. And she's like, I guess we need to invite Laura Leigh.
Laura Leigh,
But it's like if
funny.
I was married to a man, you wouldn't invite the man, so it's different. It's hard for her to adjust to.
That's a lot to
but
navigate. Yeah,
Just because I don't
You know
want to
what?
throw on a dress doesn't mean I don't want to be included.
good point.
I-
That's a good point.
I love the scenes also when Laura Leigh shows her emotion when you saw the baby for the first time on the
Oh yeah, you saw
on-
100% raw emotion right there.
I've only seen her cry 3
That was-
times, and that was one of them.
she heard your voice and she responded and you were all at the ultrasound. That was amazing that you just were like, I don't know why I'm so emotional. I mean, I think that was a real beautiful moment. And when the episode when when Lauren found out that the insemination did not take, the one she did with her mom, and then you were like, I don't know, like I feel you wanted to comfort her, but you were also angry that it was the secret insemination.
Yeah.
And that was just such a struggle for you. That was
Yeah, it was very
just-
conflicting feelings.
the realness of that, like that, because it's reality TV, is just really that was very moving to see that dynamic between the two of you. That you guys are real people with your lives on TV.
Brave.
So
You're real brave people.
very brave, very
Yeah.
brave.
Yeah.
But
I swear, I
I'll be
don't think I could do it. Like I thought like it was weird. Like today, I was sitting on my couch bawling like a little bitch watching, Harry and William walking behind the casket of their grandma,
Oh.
right? And I was like, if
We actually had that
anybody-
on as well.
Yeah, if anybody saw me right now, I would die,
yeah.
But here you guys are just like putting it all out there.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like real.
Oh, I know, and I've
commendable.
got such an ugly cry. I am like the new Kardashian meme. It is bad. But
Charlie, your face. Oh my God. Look at her.
I'll record her sometimes. Like
Yeah,
I watch movies and
it'll be a very serious movie or very serious. Like I'm bawling my eyes out, and she's getting to a point where she could cry, but instead she
I
looks
can't
at me
laugh.
and
I'll
starts
laugh
laughing.
and it's bad. Like and that's just my go-to because I'm looking at her and I'm like, oh gosh, stop. Because I'll give you a demonstration. It pretty much starts off like,
And that's how I cry.
I'm like, but I can't even get emotional watching her cry.
But the season finale of last season, season 3, where the insemination did not work, it's crazy to me because I mean I had been through it so many times. So many times I'd taken a test and gotten a negative. But with the cameras, I will say I feel like that added just the extra pressure to. And then I had a plan to go tell her. I was like, if it's positive, there was a whole plan to go and tell her, and
Right.
have the cameras follow me and do all that. But it wasn't, and so then we didn't go do that. But I just feel like there was so much added pressure that time. So I mean, I always cry, but that was really rough. And the edit didn't necessarily show it, but I did like walk away, and I was like, I need y'all to just give me like a couple of minutes.
Oh,
'cause I
yeah.
had mascara
Yeah.
running down my face. It was, it was a really real moment.
Oh,
And I feel my mom, she pressured me into taking that test, and that was real too, because I wasn't really planning on doing it right then. I was planning on doing it that day with Laura Leigh. And I think she felt a lot worse than they showed,
Yeah.
because, she essentially felt like she was causing me that pain.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
that was very moving. That was a very poignant
That's like
episode.
tricky stuff to navigate. My God.
to
Like,
be on
I know
TV
that
with
the rest of
yeah.
the world probably thought that that was really crazy, like really
Mhm.
weird, really
Yeah.
crazy. But I gotta be honest with you, I could totally see my wife and her mother planning something like that. Like, not me and my mom ever, no.
Yeah.
But my wife and her mother wouldn't be, it wouldn't be
Mhm.
weird for them.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't weird for us. It wasn't weird at all until I started kind of telling people, like, when the show was about to come on, I was started telling people, our friends and family, and they were all like, "That's a little weird." And then, like, they showed it, and everyone was like, "That's really weird." I'm like, I guess it's weird. I don't know. And she thought it was weird. But
It's a little shocking. It's a little shocking, I think.
yeah.
But yeah, Laura Lee's face again. Oh my God, these are screen grabs
She's
right
got
here.
the best facial
Yeah, these are
expressions. You
screen
don't have to
grabs.
say a word.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I commend you for sharing so much of your lives with complete and utter strangers out there in the world, not knowing.
I'm
what
glad we
you're
could
doing.
help educate people
Yeah.
about like at-home inseminations, because I can't get over how many comments we got about that's illegal. They can't do that.
You can order that over the internet.
Sperm in the mail. Like,
I
people
didn't
really
know
thought
that.
it was illegal.
We've
Yeah.
actually, I think the biggest, like takeaway moment from doing this and sharing our lives is for all the people out there that did not know that for single parents, for, LGBT community,
Right.
families that did not know that, oh, I can't have a child unless I adopt.
Right.
Which,
Right.
obviously we talked about adoption and fostering as well,
Yeah.
but,
Foster certified.
just the fact that, yes, you still can have a child of
Yeah.
your own.
Yeah, here's
And
another
it
option. Right.
That's an excellent point. Yeah, most people probably did not know that. I didn't know that. So yeah.
It is.
I
it is
constantly have
good.
people messaging me, asking me, like, what ovulation app did you use? Because there's so many, and like
Mhm.
just all the steps.
How
And
did you order it?
at this point, I have like a note.
What do you ask your doctor? Which kind of doctor you go
Right.
to? Like,
With sperm bank, and like, are there options? I'm like, and then sperm banks right now are so crazy. You can literally put in, a famous lookalike. You can put Tom Hanks, and they'll send you all the
Really?
donors that look like Tom Hanks. It's wild.
Oh man.
Wow. Yeah.
I was wondering, like, when you knew you guys got on the show, did your mom and dad, Lauren, know that they were going to be, like, were they excited? Is it something they wanted to do? Or were you just
Oh
like,
no.
you're going to be on this show? Because it
No,
seems
I
like
mean,
maybe
my
like,
dad. My
yeah,
dad
like
is very
maybe
much
your
like
dad,
I am. He likes
Yeah.
attention. We
Right.
love like just excitement, So that was kind of exciting for him. But my mom is petrified. I mean, poor thing. We oh gosh, she was just a nervous wreck because this isn't a scripted show. They don't give us what to say. So I'll
Right,
never forget when
Yeah.
first time they came in, we were cooking dinner and they were like, "Okay, go ahead."
Go.
And my mom just like froze, and she's just like, "Well, what do I say?" And they were like, "Just talk like you would." And I'll never forget, my mom looked at me, she's like, "Well, normally we'd be talking about family and we can't do that. Like, normally we'd be talking shit. So we can't do that."
Right.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, there's got to be a certain amount of censor. You got to censor certain
Right.
things. Yeah. Wow. Ooh.
Yeah, I
I
actually
would
picked up.
100% have guessed that. I would have guessed your mom was like apprehensive, like shy, and your dad was like all about it, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
right.
picked up a case of beer and started. When we knew we were about to start filming, I started drinking. I was like on my third one. Mr. Kenny's like, "You need to slow down." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "I just dropped some stuff a little bit, Mr. Kenny."
God, that is so great. That's awesome. That's really awesome. I know we've kept you quite some time. Jay, I'm sure you've got like one more banger of a question, as they say over here.
I am so excited, first of all, that you guys came on. This has been like the highlight of like, how have I been, Denise? Like,
Oh. I gotta check on her every day. I gotta text her like, "You doing all right? You okay? Mind blown? You all right?"
in between her tears and somberness, she was checking on me today to make sure I was okay.
Right? In the
I was
midst
home
of it.
early.
In the midst of it.
But
Horrible.
this has been amazing. I am super starstruck and so excited that you guys came on the show. And now, Denise, I'm sure you're
Thank
going
you
to be
for having
looking
us.
for it.
Yeah, now I will try and
Thank
find
you.
it.
Yeah, from the day you said yes, we've been like, wow. So
Yeah.
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 Thank you for coming
And I'll tell you
on.
what, man, I needed it this week. I needed something,
Yeah.
something fun, something chilled. Yeah.
By the way, I wanted
So
to tell you this since I saw it, but I'm loving the Purple Rain shirt.
Oh, hey.
I'm loving it. That's like one of my songs that when it comes on, I'm like, Lauren, be quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's, all royalty kind of thing. It's like it's the most regal thing I own,
It's very
Nice.
regal.
Yeah.
Very
Well, thank you
beautiful.
guys for cheering me up. It's been a crazy week here, and this has been much welcomed.
Well,
Yeah,
we have, I think we're gonna grab Reagan real quick so y'all
If
can
y'all
see
want to
her.
sit down.
Yes.
Hold for just a
Oh,
second. We're gonna grab.
Yay.
there's the final question. Let's see, baby.
She's going to grab her. We actually are all on vacation together at the
nice.
beach this week.
Oh, nice. That's amazing.
Here she comes. Hey, my baby girl.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Oh,
so
my God.
cute. I think she looks like Laura Leigh. I know that sounds
Hey.
crazy.
What's that?
I'm
But
not
it's
alone, right?
Oh, my.
You waving?
Hi.
Hey, what you see? See mommy's coffee.
Hey.
Oh my goodness,
Oh.
she's precious.
What a little
Absolutely
doll.
precious.
Thank
Oh.
you. We
Oh,
our
thanks
whole
for
life right here.
sharing.
She's
Hi,
beautiful.
baby.
Cold rotten.
Yeah,
Now you can smother her.
exactly. And I
Mother.
do.
Oh,
I just,
oh
I
my
know,
God.
you should understand
To an extent.
That is a perfect ending, Jay. All the
Thank y'all
levels
so
of
much for
smother.
having us.
All the levels.
That's beautiful. Well, listen, you guys take care. Enjoy your vacation. Thank you
Thank
again so
you.
much for doing this.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it.
No, thank
Yeah,
y'all.
it's
We enjoyed
awesome.
it so much.
Thanks so much.
Great.
It was nice
Bye.
meeting y'all.
Why do you always run back to
Like never stop chasing your dreams.
you once knew? You're addicted to her touch.
There, that stage.
That's true.
Stage.
And I confess, my addiction is you.
We drank way too much whiskey.
Don't ask me why I'm here tonight. I had to take this midnight drive to find you. And as I come in through the door, I see her dancing on the floor beside you. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. You look at me and in my eyes you see the hurt I can't disguise. I watch you, and though it seems I look right through, I'm noticing your every move. She's got you. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. You're my addiction. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. I turn away to mask the pain, but jealousy reveals my rage and madness. And knowing you can read my mind consumes me in a shameful kind of sadness. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. Shut